All right. So we're going to just have a little circle. We're going to go till about 12:45. And we're going to do a little movement with Alicia. We're going to do a little Reiki group session with Carolina. And then Angela is going to talk about some beautiful goddesses that are on this land and some doing some really important work. But I guess I'll just start with a little introduction. So I'm Melissa. You'll see me a lot throughout the interviews. I have been a birth worker for about 15 years. I'm a midwife on maternity leave. And I came up with the idea to do the Women Birth Collective after having my third kid and realizing that this whole concept of like perfectionism is a big lie. And probably one of the biggest things that's held me back, and I think a lot of my friends back from quote unquote succeeding, is this idea that we're supposed to do everything alone. So I just decided one day to throw out that idea and created this collective and just started inviting people to work together and try to create something really beautiful. So I want to just start by thanking you all for being here because you're a big part of the collective. We're all a part of the collective. I want to thank all the facilitators who have just showed up and volunteered their time and their beautiful work, and you'll meet them as we go on through these next 3 days. And such a big thank you to everyone who was interviewed. They all volunteered their time and their wisdom and their passion to spread their message. So one of the things that I really want to do in this collective, I think we all really want to do in this collective, if I can speak kind of for the group, if that's okay, is to reclaim the sovereignty in our bodies, you know, and to reclaim the reproductive healthcare system, because it really is a system created by the patriarchy, and it does not reflect the way that we heal. It does not reflect the way that we move and we weave together in the world. And so by reclaiming our bodies, re-educating ourselves, coming together in community, sharing with one another and supporting one another, we can really start to affect change from within. And, you know, we can go to our healthcare systems, which are going to look more like how the way that we work. As we change from within, we affect change in our community, we affect change in the reproductive healthcare system. So that we don't have to be confused and we have support from one another. One thing that the mama bear from the Mohawk Nation, one thing that she said to me was, it is the work of women to sit in circle and weave together our wisdom practices. This is a fundamental part of being a woman, as the Mohawk Nation sees it. So this is important work that we're doing, and I'm really glad that we're all together. Okay, a couple of other things that makes us different from like a childbirth class or a pregnancy website is that we really are focused on listening, right? And supporting each other. We're not just gonna dump information on everybody. It's about listening, it's about processing together, it's about putting all of our energy into the collective. So I invite you to really give feedback. I invite you to give testimonials that helps us to spread our message. I invite you to just show up and be present and put your energy into this circle, to this vortex of healing that we're creating. And one other thing is I invite you to share on social media, because this makes you a part of spreading the message of really, creating change in the world. So I think that is my message for now. We'll talk more later. I'm going to pass the floor over to Alicia, who is going to do some grounding and some embodiment with us and just kind of get us flowing and feeling good.
Hey, good morning, beautifuls. I'm Alicia. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you for pulling upon, all the powers of the midwife to hold these sacred spaces and these spaces for transformation. I really appreciate you and all the work that you have put into uplifting the community and calling us together, weaving us together. So many of us mamas and women who are doing, such work on the daily, and we live isolated. So I'm super grateful for us to finally, you know, continuing to remember how to come together and share all of this work that we do in the world, and share all of these wisdoms that we gather, so we can all just keep spreading. And I'm looking super forward to getting to know and continuing to connect with each of you who showed up here today. So thank you for showing up here today. So we're just gonna take a moment to just call ourselves into a circle, basically. We're just gonna ground in to a little meditation that allows us to imagine ourselves here together. We're all connected, you know, through this world wide web, but we're gonna pull ourselves in so it feels like we're sitting together here on the land together. Okay. So I just invite you guys to find a comfy seat wherever you're at. Go ahead and sit up nice and tall if you're able to sit up tall, or lay down, however you feel comfy. Take some nice deep breaths in your nose, down into your belly, exhaling through your mouth. Keep doing that. In your nose, sending the breath down into your belly, feeling your belly expand, and exhaling out of your mouth. Continuing to breathe in that pattern as you just begin to relax yourself. Exhaling anything you want to let go of from the night. I invite you on your next exhale to exhale with a sigh, releasing some energy with your vocal cords. Continuing to ground. And as we come together in circle as women, to come together to support each other, to hear each other, to listen, to simply just be and celebrate each other. Continue to breathe together. And we find ourselves sitting in circle. And today we're sitting in circle upon the land, sitting in circle upon any piece of land that you can get your imagination to take you to. Ground into that land and begin to see your sisters sitting around next to you. I'm going to call us in by name, but I first invite you to take a look at the land and know that as we sit in circle, there's going to be one wide, big circle and a smaller circle in the center. And I invite you to place yourself intuitively on the inner circle or on the outer circle. If you feel really strong and full of vibrancy and vitality right now and able to hold space and sit up strong, please place yourself on the outside of the circle. And if you feel a little more vulnerable, a little more tender today, a little more desirous of nurturance, to be seen, please place yourself on the inner circle. And feel yourself sitting upon the land and feeling gratitude for sitting upon the land with the rest of community of sisters that you don't know, that you do know, that you may know that you didn't even know. And we'll continue to get to know each other. So as you continue to breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth, sitting on the ground, you begin to witness this circle manifest. You see Alicia sitting there on the land, breathing with you. You see Melissa sitting there next to you, breathing with you, in through her nose and out through her mouth. You see Caro, you see her sitting on the land. You begin to witness and see Rosalia sitting there on the land with you. These women are materializing next to you. Laurel comes to the land to sit in the circle with us. Shital, welcome to the circle. Carolyn, thank you for being present here in this circle with us, placing yourself where you want to be on this land so we can all tend to each other together. Andrea, welcome. Denise and Tiana, welcome to the circle that we are weaving. Please continue to enjoy breathing in and breathing out as you see Brooke into the circle and Phoenix Rising Birthworks comes and joins us upon the land. Emily, welcome to the circle. Please continuing to just breathe and be and really feel the energy of all of us together. Some sitting in the inner circle, some sitting on the outer circle, remaining tall, lying down and feeling small if you want to. Just wherever you're at, continuing to breathe. When you see yourself, if you're on the outer circle, raising your arms up into the sky, up to the sun, and breathing in that sunlight into your body, bringing it down, and offering the sun energy to our sisters sitting in the center of the circle. Offering the energy of the earth, the love from the earth, and knowing that we all are this abundant love. And sisters in the center of the circle, breathing in to the sun's energy, breathing into the love that is being offered, that is always present and all around you. We uplift you, we hug you, we honor you. Breathing in and breathing out. Taking a moment to bring your hands to your heart space and to your womb space and just being silent and breathing with yourself. Feeling supported, feeling connected. No matter what you're going through, what you showed up here with today, you're connected and you're seen, you're held within it. And now as my baby comes and grabs my hand, he reminds me to reach out and grab the hands of the women around you who are gathered here in circle. And just continue to breathe and be. Remembering that we all have a heart. Breathing into that heart space. And now for the initial part of our circle, taking deep breaths into gratitude. Gratitude to yourself for being here, for all that you do in this life. Gratitude to your sisters for being here and all that they do in this life. Gratitude to the children that have come through your womb, that have come into your life, that you nurture. Gratitude for you. And gratitude for the earth. Going ahead and opening your eyes back to where you're at and continuing to feel that presence of circle wherever you may be. We're gonna just get into our bodies a little bit. I'm gonna try this drumming. It may or may not come through, so I'll just look for like a thumbs up from Melissa if it comes through or not. Beginning at the feet, moving the ankles, connecting with your body. You may stay sitting You may say standing. Just connecting with the feet. Bouncing them to the beat, twisting them around. Connecting to the feet. Connecting to those anchors that keep us grounded. That move our body. That are our root chakra. Feeling the legs, feeling the feet. You are able to move, standing up and moving the feet and the legs. Swaying the hips. Making vocalizations out of your mouth as you sway your hips, you open up into that creation portal.
We can continue moving. I imagine she's gonna come back. Just keep going with the flow, whatever movements your body is asking you to do. Remember, the idea is just to allow the energy to flow through the body. Just kind of remove any blockages, and just if you need to make any sound, just when you're in your breath out, just sigh loudly. Like, what part of your body, what sound does your womb want to make, or your heart?
Hey, I don't know how much of that you got, but basically her phone told her that she got too hot. So it cut her off because she's too hot, which is actually divine timing, because we're gonna start up with a Reiki, with the little group Reiki session with Caro. So do you want to take the floor, Caro? Yeah?
Yeah,
If anybody
let's
has
do it.
any questions or needs, just post them in the chat and I'll take a look at them right now while Caro's doing that.
All right. So hello, my name is Carolina, but I rather you just call me Caro. I'm a Reiki master. I also channel Crystalline Light of Grace, and I'm learning how to do biofield tuning. But you know, I love my tuning forks, so I am going to introduce them through our little healing meditation today. Alicia did a fabulous job in getting us into our body and connecting us to each other. So I really don't have to do that much, except that, you know, just start by, I invite you guys to put your hands together in prayer and rub them together to create some heat in your hands, because you're going to be your own channel of healing energy that will come into your womb, where your baby is at, Rosalia. I saw your baby belly. That's so beautiful. Oh my goodness. So once you feel that your hands are like sticking to each other and then they don't want to kind of move anymore, then you know that you've activated all your little meridians in your hands. And we're just gonna go ahead and take a deep breath and put those beautiful charged hands on your womb. And they're gonna go right on your womb. And I invite you to just kind of like rock your hips back and forth. Just feeling the energy that Alicia
was able to bring into our bodies, and sensing like this child energy. I think I'm totally channeling Rosalie's baby there, because there's like this happiness is just being rocked in there in your womb. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to help you by asking your guides and my guides to come and provide protection and provide with a clear channel for this beautiful Reiki energy or crystalline energy or whatever type of energy you need right now for your baby, for gestation period. And for if there's mommies out there that are not pregnant, like me, I'm not pregnant. If there's any type of energy that would like to coat the inside of your womb, and we're just gonna place our intention as though we're coating the inside of our womb with Reiki energy, which is super gentle, is loving, and with the crystalline energy, which helps the DNA in your body to align itself to its highest potential. So Rosalie's baby is just going to get a nice little bath with all those fluids getting charged up. And the rest of us, we have our beautiful wombs that need their healing. And if there's any feelings, and I invite you also to move your hands to your back. So your back is just so much tension is put in our back muscles. And just put those hands there as though they're warming up your back and releasing any tension from your back. And Reiki energy is flowing. See beautiful golden hands under you.
Excuse me. What?
As though
Opening it for you.
they're holding you. And I want you to understand that in the womb, we have stored feelings of guilt and shame. And we have stored feelings of frustration and disappointment. And then there's also whatever has happened to us in our story. And we all have a story, and we all have trauma, and we all have our own personal healing journey. And here in the collective, we would like to assist you wherever you're at in your journey to find harmony, peace, and to be able to bring your child, your children, your kids, yourself into sovereignty, into your own center. With that said, I would like you to imagine that there is a golden seed that is being placed in your womb. And that seed is slowly expanding and is wrapping itself in your womb. And the golden roots are coming down your legs, and the energy is starting to go down and down and down. But instead of having those roots going into soil, I would like you to imagine those roots going in water. And it's clear, clear water. And whatever is in your womb, in your story, that no longer serves you, it's just going to go down through those golden roots. And as I would like to invite you to move your hands down your legs if you're sitting, or if you're not sitting, I invite you to just breathe out like a strong breath and intend for the energy to go down your legs into this beautiful water. And it cleans you. It provides you with protection. It provides you with healing. And any feelings that bring up this cleansing, they're okay. It's okay to feel sad. It's okay to feel happy. It's okay. Whatever feeling comes, just let it come. And bring that feeling down through your roots into the water. And now we're gonna have your roots in the water start coming up. The water is gonna start coming up, this beautiful clean water coming up your roots into your beautiful womb and up to your solar plexus and cleaning your solar plexus, and then up to your heart, to your throat. And if you want to touch yourself and just have you bring your attention to your body, like, you can do that. Everything is okay, whatever feels right to you. If you feel like tapping and saying hello to your third eye, here in your crown, saying, oh, hello, crown. And then imagine that you are this beautiful tree and you have your canopy spreading out. And this is totally connecting with what Alicia said. Our canopy of our trees is spreading out, and the sun, central sun, its rays are just filling your canopy, and it's coming down into your central channel, back down all through your all different channels, back into your womb, the portal of life. And I would like you just to sit there with the warmth of the sun and thanking the sun and thanking the earth for a beautiful gift of light and life energy. And slowly just start coming back to the present moment. And I would like to ask Melissa to see who's next in this beautiful treat that we have for you guys. Melissa.
Yeah, thank you, Caro. Okay, so let me just invite, I don't know if we invited some new people who joined, but we're all sitting in a virtual consciousness circle with each other. I'm not sure if we invited Stephanie in, but if not, welcome. Rebecca, welcome. Suj and Denise, welcome. And Angela, welcome. So yeah, Alicia sat us in a circle. We're all in an inner and outer circle supporting each other. Caro just did a beautiful Reiki. And Angela is going to share with us something really, really gorgeous. So do you want to take the floor, Angela? And do you want me to pull up some photos or do you have them?
I have one. I have
Okay.
one that I actually took. And if there are others that you want to share as well,
I think yours are beautiful.
that would be awesome.
So I'll just, yeah, you can go ahead and take the screen whenever you want it.
Okay.
If you need help, let me know.
Oh, it says it's sharing is disabled, but it's really just the one, the picture that I shared before. So if you want to share it while I speak,
Yeah.
that's great. So I don't know how we're doing introductions or if we're doing introductions. But I'm Angela Hardison Breckenridge, and I am a community doula in community birth worker, really, in Louisville, Kentucky. And I am also the Deputy Director for Southern Birth Justice Network. And so I have been sitting a lot the past few days with the idea of the divine feminine, and particularly as a Black woman, as a Black woman in America, African-American woman. I have sat a lot with really wanting to be fully in my divine feminine, and knowing that with the history of this country and the lack of the feeling of safety within my own body, that is a challenge. And so one of the things that really sat with me, one of the things I experienced this weekend, I was in Alabama, and I was able to, after going to this magnificent Alabama Black Midwives and Healers conference in Tuscaloosa, we went to Montgomery. And we went to Montgomery to see this beautiful artistry, and it's a monument of Annika, Lucy, and Betsy, who were enslaved women who are referred to, the artists referred to them as the mothers of gynecology. Melissa and I talked about how that, like, gynecology feels like this harsh word that doesn't lend itself to, I mean, it is what it is, but it feels very medical. And so I like to think of these women as the goddess mothers of birth. And a lot of what we know about the female body, a lot of what we know around gynecology in this country was due to the experimentation of this person named J. Marion Sims. And folks know that person because historically he has been named as the father of gynecology. But where he received all of his knowledge, or a good bit of his knowledge, was through experimentation on these three women. And so these three women came from different plantations in and near Montgomery, Alabama. And so I believe it was Lucy was the first one that he experimented with. Basically, there were women, the youngest being, I believe, 17, and I believe that was Annika, who who basically they were being bred, right? And from whatever age that they could reproduce, their owners just, you know, that's what they were used for. But there was a point when they were developing these different reproductive issues, including fistulas. And so since their owners, since the people who enslaved them didn't know what to do and felt like they didn't have the usefulness, because not only could they not conceive and bear children, or at least carry children at that time, they were not able to do the regular work that they were expected to do on the land. And so basically he leased them out to J. Marion Sims. And so when he leased them out, basically Sims was allowed to do whatever he wanted. And he came to Montgomery from North Carolina, where he had unsuccessfully done a lot of these experiments. So once he was leased these women who were said not to even be useful, and he leased them for like 4 to 5 years, and started doing these experiments. And he tried with Lucy with no success, and Betsy with no success, and lastly Annika, sorry. So once he started doing these experiments without success, folks that were backing him, his assistants, kind of were like, well, he doesn't, there's no fame in this, basically, because he's not doing this successfully. So they moved on. And what actually happened, because he had leased these women, was that he trained them to be medical assistants to each other. So he trained them to, and all of this was done with no anesthesia. And so this monument here is, the stories are, horrendous and, powerful and all of these things, because Annika endured at least 30 surgeries. And so once he had some success with the techniques that he wanted and developed some tools, then he, became famous enough to move to New York and do things in New York, now operating on, on white women with money and other folks. And so they went back to work on these plantations where they were, where they originally came from. And so what I found in so Michelle Browder is the artist that created these monuments. And for me, going to sit with him was so healing, and being able to acknowledge them. And pardon me if I get a little tear filled and emotion filled, because I felt like they were in the space, and I had an opportunity to thank and honor them for their sacrifice. They had no choice in it. And yet we know what we know because of them. And so my focus now, and with the rest of my breath, is to be able to
and then the price,
to be able to not only honor them, but help other women that I support, particularly Black women who are still, whose bodies and their divine feminine is still not being honored in the way that it should. So my work is to continue to support, continue to uplift, and help other women, and again, Black women in particular, to be able to find and thrive in their divine feminine. A lot of times within society, Black women aren't allowed to be not only to be feminine, but to be able to sit and honor their own bodies, have bodily autonomy, have their bodies respected. And so I feel like this monument, that's a big part of what this is. Like, we need to know the history, absolutely, everyone needs to know the history and sacrifice, but we also need to sit and move forward. And for me, with this beautiful monument as a reminder to always move into that space of gloriousness, which is the divine feminine.
Thank you so much, Angela. I just want to add that there is a space for processing if you need to process. I'll make a post about it on Facebook. Not just this, but anything that you hear. It's on there. So anything that you hear during the summit, if there's something that comes up for you and you need to process, I'm going to be available. And so just reach out. You can send us messages on Facebook or Instagram, mostly Facebook. And I will also have a post so that we can kind of get together if anybody needs to release. But remember these different embodiment practices that Alicia just shared with us and Carolina just shared with us, and allow things to move out of your womb and, you know, into the earth, into the clean waters. And yeah, if you need anything from us, we're here. So just reach out. I'm going to stop sharing. Is there anything else you wanted to add before we wrap up, Angela?
I just want to say that we just need to continue to provide spaces to honor our bodies, and, you know, to recognize who we are. And really, if you are, you know, if you are a midwife, or if you are a birth worker, if you are in a space and position to always advocate for women, for birthing people, for even beyond birthing people, to have that space to have bodily autonomy, to be able to sit in that space where they have the right to consent to or refuse whatever is happening to their bodies.
Thank you. You weren't here for the first introduction, but I love that you just echoed a lot of the things that I said, that we're really here for sovereignty and for our rights in our bodies, our autonomy in our bodies. So we're a little bit past 12:45. Right before we end, I'm going to invite all the pregnant people to stay on for a little Q&A and a little community building. Everyone else, we will continue to see you in the summit. If anything resonated with you today, and if I could ask you to support us by leaving a testimonial or some like note of support on the Facebook group or right here in the chat, that's something that would help us tremendously. This is our very first event, so you're part of something new, and if it calls you to be supportive, yeah, we would definitely appreciate some words of encouragement that we could share with other people. But I think that's it for now. Is there anything else for closing?
Hey. I'm so sorry. It took me a while to figure it out.
We're not ready, Sarah. We're gonna start. I'm just closing out this group real quick. We're gonna start with our group in a minute.
Okay.
So
Melissa,
yeah, we'll see
maybe
you on the Facebook group.
Melissa.
Yeah, go for it. Go.
Okay. Just wanted to add that if you guys hear any of the facilitators and you want to reach out to them, that there's going to be a place on the Womb Collective website where you guys are going to be able to, continue your healing process and reach out to specific facilitators to help you with whatever place you're at in your own story and your own journey. And thank you for coming. We're super excited and we appreciate you for joining us here in this fabulous lunch hour treat. Thank you.
Thank you, Caro. I'm going to invite everyone just to close out, if you want to turn on your cameras and give like a wave or a smile or a kiss goodbye. And Alicia, do you want to say?
Yeah, I just wanted to invite us all to remember to ground back down into that initial circle that we created, and to remember that we're always in circle connected with sisters. Maybe it's not us here particularly, but that us as women, we're always connected in circle, and to whenever we're feeling disconnected or alone, that to remember that grounding practice of coming back into circle. So as we close out, may the circle stay united.
Beautiful. Thank you. Mwah. Thank you. We'll see you soon on the next live meetup.